Welcome to Your Health, where we explore the latest in health across the country. I'm your host, Erica Cardenas. Today we're talking healthy vices, and we're at Maverick Coffee to learn about the health benefits of a very popular vice, coffee. But before we get started, let's take a look at what's coming up on today's show. Looking to feel good for summer? Weight Watchers has a plan to get you in gear. We take a trip to a restaurant that has an unusual menu designed to keep you in good health. And put that pedal to the metal for good health. We check in on a spinning gym. All that and more on this episode of Your Health. When a child's in the hospital, it's not always easy for them to stay connected to family and friends. But at this children's hospital, every room comes with a way a patient can stay in touch.
My name's Sabrina Gwynn. I am Ian's mom. Ian is a frequent visitor here to PCH. He has a severe medical condition called chronic intestinal pseudo-obstruction. So his gut acts like it is obstructed when it's not actually obstructed. So any type of thing like a cold or something like that can tend to shut down his gut. And when that happens, we usually end up here. I'm pretty much here 24/7. I do not leave unless I have to. So I'm here for hours upon hours with him.
I'm David Higginson. I'm the Chief Information Officer here at Phoenix Children's Hospital. When the patients come into the hospital, they're really disconnected from everything electronic that's taking place in the hospital, and the only really way they're interacted with is verbally for the most part. We recognize that pretty early, especially some of our patients are in here for a month at a time sometimes in isolation because of their disease. And so we want to reconnect them not only to what's going on at the hospital so they can look at their lab results and maybe things that were clinically important, but really get connected back to their family and their community. We have over 400 rooms here at the hospital, and every single room has an iPad in it. People don't have to wait for an iPad, it's there right way for them.
Well, it makes you have fun, and you can also watch movies on it. Oh, and you can also play games.
Cox has always been a big supporter of Phoenix Children's, and many initiatives they've helped us out with as we go along. Obviously we're a not-for-profit hospital, so we don't have lots of money to spend on these things, so this generous donation has meant that every single child here at the hospital has a difference in their stay. They're happier, their patient satisfaction is higher, they're able to play games, talk to their friends, and so really making that direct difference in a patient's life here is really important, and it's not something I get an opportunity to do. So when that came along, I was so grateful for Cox to help us out and actually make that a reality.
We actually bought an iPad whenever Ian was first being diagnosed, just to give him something to do while we were here. And now it's nice so that the kids have them readily available whenever they become inpatient. We've traveled to several different hospitals, and none of the other hospitals out of state for his condition, and none of the other hospitals have iPads in their rooms for kids. And I think it's awesome. Great way to help kids who need the distraction from everything else that they go through.
Phoenix Children's is so very grateful for our partnership with Cox. It's not just like a typical relationship with a vendor where we get a service and we pay a bill. Cox has demonstrated over and over again their commitment to the hospital and the children of Arizona, and we're very, very thankful for that. We're thankful for the donation for the iPads, but we're really thankful for their ongoing support in a lot of different ways. It's not just with this one project, and it's very special when we have a partner like them who are not interested in the profit, they're not interested in making a new sale, they're truly interested in making this hospital a better place.
Life can be tough, and we all make mistakes, but there's a place that's helping people get their lives back on track.
The purpose of Decision Point is really to create a program that does what drug and alcohol treatment should do. We absolutely know that alcoholism and drug addiction don't occur by themselves. Most of the time, what we see is an individual who has experienced trauma, an individual who has a co-occurring mental illness. Some come from really significantly horrific family situations. A lot of healing has to be done. You know, most of the people out there don't understand that the correlation that exists between having been traumatized at some point in your life and developing a substance use addiction or alcoholism is 85% in the research literature. We rarely have a client at Decision Point who doesn't do some element of trauma work. The most effective way to do that is EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It is the Department of Defense treatment of choice for veterans returning home from Iraq and Afghanistan. And we utilize other protocols within EMDR that actually allow us to disconnect the pleasurable feeling in the brain and the relief of anxiety from the use of the substance. And when that happens, what we observe is wonderful. The brain begins to present the individual with alternative ways to feel good and not be anxious that don't involve substances anymore.
I know by continuing to do the right thing, I got people that are willing to show up for me and guide me along the way and help me out as much as possible. You know, and it's only through opening my mouth and trying to build the relationships with people and not being so closed off that led me to the same place over and over again.
Whatever you might be thinking, they get you here, man. They understand. It saved my life and continues to today.
There's a better life out there, and sometimes you just need a wake-up call. There's hope after that, you know?
Our mission is to give them the tools to maintain sobriety and to be able to launch them into a life that has direction and purpose, and to let them know from the very beginning that we have not given up on them and that we never will.
Sunbathing is frowned upon, but a little sun in moderation is actually good for your health. Sunshine is critical for the production of vitamin D. Recent studies show that a vitamin D deficiency is associated with an increase in diabetes, cancer, high blood pressure, and a host of other health problems. So soak up the sun in moderation and avoid getting a sunburn. Stick around, we'll have more on your health when we return. Healthy vices. Coffee is definitely one of them. An Olympic athlete believes so much in coffee, he opened his own shop. We talk to him next. And later, we check out a restaurant where the menu is all about getting you healthy.
From innovations in medicine to eating better, your health is filled with great ideas to help you live your best life. If you'd like more health stories and information, head to Yurview.com.
Coffee. Many of us can't function without it. That's not a bad thing. Coffee is definitely on the list of healthy vices, and no one knows that better than Olympian pole vaulter Steve Lewis. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
Now, you are an Olympian, so what made you want to open a coffee shop?
Well, in 2012, after the Olympic Games, I actually moved out to Arizona to start an Olympic training facility. And we were living in North Scottsdale, loving the area, and there just wasn't many spots to go and like hang out in this area and kind of sit on a couch, drink a coffee, chat with friends. Myself and my wife, we found this location and we kind of began the process of starting a little local coffee shop.
Now, talk to us about the concept behind Maverick Coffee.
So the idea is taking some of the best roasters from all around the world and bringing them to one spot. So I used to love going for coffees in Melbourne, in London, in Perth, and like all these different places that I've lived. And the focus was never on being a roaster, but trying the best product that you can find. So our concept here is to do things like really small, but really well. So we try and source the best coffee from the best roasters in the US. We try and source all our food locally and just give like a really hearty local experience.
Now, many people sometimes think that coffee isn't good for you, but coffee actually has many health benefits, right? Talk to us about that.
The list is really long, but I mean, there's reduced risks of some types of cancers. There's obviously all the research that goes on with antioxidants. But I think the one thing that we look at, which is not really, there's not really a science to it, but we see this as a coffee experience. So this is a thing that people do to make themselves happy, to connect with other people, to be sociable. So like we really like the idea that coffee's fun and that kind of it's a medicine for your heart and it's a medicine to like feel good about yourself.
Is there a particular type of coffee bean that's better to use when it comes to health benefits?
I mean, there is different coffees from all over the world, and that's one of the things we're really responsible about the roasters we use and the season of coffee. So in Africa and South America, they all have different seasons and the coffee's in season at different points. So the green bean product, it's important to know where it's coming from, who it's roasted by, and has it been grown responsibly, and have the farmers been taken care of. So this is the things we're aware of, but yeah, we change the bean continuously. We have different espresso blends that are in keeping with all the organic parameters and all the different green beans that are in season.
Well, thank you so much, C, for joining us. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Maverick Coffee.
Thank you.
If you'd like more information on Maverick Coffee, just head over to their website. Are you having a hard time getting your kids to like going to the dentist? Well, not to worry. The Super Dentist is the place for you. Everything they do will put a smile on your kids' faces and keep their teeth healthy and strong.
Your kids. You'd do anything for them. They're the center of your universe. We all work so hard every day to give our kids healthy, happy childhoods. But sometimes, health and happiness seem like two opposing forces, like polar opposites. And we can all relate. For example, when you were a kid, how did you feel about the dentist? You probably didn't like it. Most of us don't. Despite our parents' best efforts, we decide early that going to the dentist is unpleasant. And that negative association can have lifelong consequences. But what if we'd all had great childhood experiences instead? Maybe we'd go for cleanings more often and avoid gum disease or tooth loss. Maybe we'd be healthier, more confident adults. If your kids could design the perfect dentist's office, what would it look like? It'd be fun, right? It'd be magical and colorful, with tooth-saving superheroes and cavity-causing supervillains and toys and games. It'd be a whimsical kid city. And what if you could design the perfect dentist's office for your kids? What would that look like? It would have world-class dentists who specialize in treating kids. It would use the latest technologies to make treatment better, safer, and more comfortable. It would work with insurance and be affordable with convenient, flexible scheduling. And it would be a part of the fabric of the community. At the Super Dentists, we believe that being the best pediatric dentists in the world is about more than technical excellence. It's also about meeting our young patients where they live, in the rich, inspired world of their imaginations. We believe in creating a joyful, positive experience for our patients and for their parents. We put your kids in the center of our universe. Imagine that.
Hi, I'm Dr. Haas. My wife and I founded the Super Dentist over 20 years ago with the premise of putting your children in the center of our world. Schedule a visit with your family and find out for yourself why the Super Dentist is the only dental office on the planet where kids literally beg to go to the dentist.
The American Academy of Pediatric Dentistry says you should take your child to the dentist at age 1 or as soon as they cut their first tooth. And make taking care of their teeth fun. You can let them choose their own toothbrush and toothpaste, maybe a brush in their favorite color, and lead by example. Practice healthy habits like flossing and not overdoing the sweets so those trips to the dentist are a breeze. When we come back, enjoying your favorite foods is possible with a healthy lifestyle. Weight Watchers can help. And why grabbing that chocolate bar isn't so bad for you after all.
This episode of Your Health is brought to you in part by the Super Dentists, recognized leaders in pediatric dentistry for more than 20 years in the San Diego area.
Think you have to give up pizza and pasta to lose weight? Well, Weight Watchers has a new program that lets you indulge and still stay on track.
Weight Watchers has something to deliver to most of the population of the country. Healthy is the new in instead of skinny. And healthy means that you're going to be eating healthier, moving more, even having a more positive mindset and getting more involved in your happiness. Weight Watchers is all about that. You know, we have a fabulous food plan that leads people to make better choices, and we coach people into making better portion control choices as well.
Hi guys, how are you? Hi, so good to see you, yes. Oh, love our members.
The Weight Watchers program that we have right now is called Freestyle. It's the most flexible program that we've had so far, by far my favorite. I think that it adds a lot of validity for me, that as the program changes, I don't change. My weight stays the same, my habits are staying the same, and that flexibility is what members are really loving right now.
The Freestyle program is built with enormous flexibility, and what that means is that there's a lot less tracking. If a member's able to track less and eat more naturally, because there's so many 0-point foods, over 200 0-point foods on the food list, that means that any place you go, you can find a food that's easily eaten and you don't have to track it at all. Lots of flexibility. And they're usually foods that we really like. The other reason why a food might be a 0-point food is because it's not a food that you would usually abuse. The food plan is accessible as well. You know, one thing that many members tell me is that, hey, you know, I spend less money on groceries now because I'm not going through the drive-up window impulsively. I buy less junk food. It's surprising how cheap it is to eat when you eat the exterior part of the grocery store, you know, the fruits and vegetables, the lean meats, whole grain breads. You know, you work your way around the grocery store and stay out of the center where all that processed food is.
I feel like there's a lot of freedom in the program, and that flexibility is what members are really loving right now.
We have meetings 7 days a week, more than 65 locations across the state, 200 and almost 70 meetings a week to choose from. So it's very accessible. Our staff do share their own stories, and that's a powerful part of Weight Watchers, is that everybody who works for Weight Watchers came out of what I say one of the chairs. That means that they have joined the Weight Watchers program, they've lived the program, they've decided that they want to help others live healthier too, and that's a big part of why Weight Watchers is successful.
I can't describe what it's like to motivate and inspire other people to just make one good choice tomorrow. One better choice, right? One healthier choice. And it's life-changing. It's what keeps me coming back. They inspire me, I think, more than I inspire them.
Want to lighten up some of your favorite recipes? Try using Greek yogurt. Use it as a substitute for sour cream and dips, or try it in baking. Use half Greek yogurt and half butter or margarine. Up next, feeling sluggish? Maybe you're trying to fend off a cold or keep your cholesterol in check. We visit a restaurant where the menu is like medicine.
A healthy life starts with one small change at a time. For advice on making those small life changes, watch Your Health every week to hear from health experts, and head to Yurview.com for full episodes and health stories.
At Farm and Craft, healthy food is next level. The menu's broken into 4 categories depending on the path you want to take to better health.
Hello, my name is Josh. I'm the executive chef here at Farm and Craft. Farm and Craft is a restaurant focused on community, affection, sustainability, and good food. So the wellness menu is a way of catering your diet to increase your probiotic levels, your anti-inflammatory, antioxidants, and reduce your overall stress. We have a lot of fresh fruits, a lot of fresh vegetables, and a lot of grains like quinoa and farro. The response has been very good within the community. People eat here because it's healthy food and we don't use a whole lot of oil and a lot of butter. And they can trust us to cook what we say we're going to cook and how we cook it. The creative process is relatively simple. We don't do a whole lot to the food. When we bring it in, we try to get the best ingredients we can from wherever we can get it. You know, people come in, farmers drop off food, and you know, people call and say, hey, we have this or that. And they bring it in, we taste it, and if it works, it works. We don't use a whole lot of butter, we don't use a lot of oil, a lot of refined sugars. In the morning and the afternoon, we do a fast casual, so they can come in, order their food, sit down, listen to music, talk. At nighttime, we changed to a full service concept where we serve really nice wine, and we serve bigger portions of everything. My favorite thing on the menu is breakfast. We have a pancake dish, which is lights out. It's strawberries, blueberries. We don't serve a maple syrup with it. It's really it's kind of coconut sugar and agave nectar, but for some reason it really works really well with the granola and the fruit. It's really nice. One of our most popular dishes is the vegan ceviche. We have a lot of vegetarians, a lot of vegans come in, so we try to do some stuff that they really want. They can't get anywhere else. So the vegan ceviche is golden beets, roasted with thyme, garlic, a little vinegar, and a little water to kind of soften them up. There is a cherry tomato, some avocado, and some radish. And that's dressed with some tomato and chili kind of lime sauce. It's real fresh, real bright. The secret to making healthy food taste good is to cook it with love.
We want to thank Steve and everyone here at Maverick Coffee for all of their hospitality today. Coffee is not only the healthy vice you should try. Sleep in and get those extra Z's. Sleep can boost your immune system and reduce belly fat. Play hooky. That's right, taking a day off work can reduce stress and actually rejuvenate you. And finally, my favorite, chocolate. A small piece or two of dark chocolate is loaded with flavonoids, and those little guys can keep your blood vessels in good shape. So go ahead and indulge in your healthy vice guilt-free. Thank you for joining us on Your Health. I'm Erica Cardenas. See you next time.